let me ask you kind of a big philosophical question about AI and the threat of it. Let's look at the threat side. So folks like Eliezer Yudkowsky worry that AI might kill all of us. Do you worry about that range of possibilities where artificial intelligence systems in a variety of ways might destroy human civilization?
Yes, I talk a lot about it, about the dangers of AI. I sometimes get into trouble because I depict these scenarios of how AI becoming very dangerous, and then people say that I'm encouraging these scenarios. But I'm talking about it as a warning. I'm not so terrified of the simplistic idea, again, the Terminator scenario of robots running in the street shooting everybody. I'm more worried about AI accumulating more and more power and basically taking over society, taking over our lives, taking power away from us until we don't understand what is happening and we lose control of our lives and of the future. The two most important things to realize about AI, so many things are being said now about AI, but I think there are two things that every person should know about AI. First is that AI is the first tool in history that can make decisions by itself. All previous tools in history couldn't make decisions. This is why they empowered us. You invent a knife, you invent an atom bomb. The atom bomb cannot decide to start a war, cannot decide which city to bomb. AI can make decisions by itself. An autonomous weapon systems can decide by themselves who to kill, who to bomb. The second thing is that AI is the first tool in history that can create new ideas by itself. The printing press could print our ideas, but could not create new ideas. AI can create new ideas entirely by itself. This is unprecedented. Therefore, it is the first technology in history that instead of giving power to humans, it takes power away from us. And the danger is that it will increasingly take more and more power from us until we are left helpless and clueless about what is happening in the world. And this is already beginning to happen in an accelerated pace. More and more decisions about our lives, whether to give us a loan, whether to give us a mortgage, whether to give us a job, are taken by AI. And more of the ideas, of the images, of the stories that surround us and shape our minds, our world, are produced, are created by AI, not by human beings.
If you can just linger on that, what is the danger of that? That more and more of the creative side is done by AI, the idea generation. Is it that we become stale in our thinking? Is that idea generation is so fundamental to the evolution of humanity?
That we can't resist the ideas. To resist an idea, you need to have some vision of the creative process.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very old fear. You go back to Plato's cave. So this idea that people are sitting chained in a cave and seeing shadows on a screen, on a wall, and thinking this is reality. You go back to Descartes, and he has this thought experiment of the demon. And Descartes asks himself, how do I know that any of this is real? Maybe there is a demon who is creating all of this and is basically enslaving me by surrounding me with these illusions. You go back to Buddha, it's the same question. What if we are living in a world of illusions, and because we have been living in it throughout our lives, all our ideas or our desires, how we understand ourselves, this is all the product of the same illusions. And this was a big philosophical question for thousands of years. Now it's becoming a practical question of engineering, because previously all the ideas, as far as we know, maybe we are living inside a computer simulation of intelligent rats from the planet Zircon. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, we don't know about it. But taking what we do know about human history, until now, all the, again, stories, images, paintings, songs, operas, theater, everything we've encountered and shaped our minds was created by humans. Now, increasingly, we live in a world where more and more of these cultural artifacts will be coming from an alien intelligence. Very quickly, we might reach a point when most of the stories, images, songs, TV shows, whatever, are created by an alien intelligence. And if we now find ourselves inside this kind of world of illusions, created by an alien intelligence that we don't understand, but it understands us, this is a kind of, spiritual enslavement that we won't be able to break out of, because it understands us, it understands how to manipulate us, but we don't understand what is behind this screen of stories and images and songs.
So if there's a set of AI systems that are operating in the space of ideas that are far superior to ours, and we're not almost able to, it's opaque to us, we're not able to see through, how does that change the pursuit of happiness, the human pursuit of happiness, life? Where do we get joy if we're surrounded by AI systems that are doing most of the cool things humans do much better than us?
Mm-hmm. Some of the things, it's okay that the AIs would do them. Many human tasks and jobs, they are drudgery, they are not fun, they are not developing us emotionally or spiritually. It's fine if the robots take over. I don't know, I think about the people in supermarkets or grocery stores that spend hours every day just, passing items and charging you the money. I mean, if this can be automated, wonderful. We need to make sure that these people then have better jobs, better means of supporting themselves and developing their social abilities, their spiritual abilities, and that's the ideal world that AI can create. That it takes away from us the things that it's better if we don't do them, and allows us to focus on the most important things and the deepest aspects of our nature, of our potential. If we give AI control of the sphere of ideas at this stage, I think it's very, very dangerous because it doesn't understand us. And AI at present is mostly digesting the products of human culture. Everything we've produced over thousands of years, it eats all of these cultural products, digests it, and starts producing its own new stuff. But we still haven't figured out ourselves, in our bodies, our brains, our minds, our psychology. So an AI based on our flawed understanding of ourselves is a very dangerous thing. I think that we need, first of all, to keep developing ourselves. If for every dollar and every minute that we spend on developing AI, artificial intelligence, we spend another dollar and another minute in developing human consciousness, the human mind will be okay. The danger is that we spend all our effort on developing an AI at a time when we don't understand ourselves, and then letting the AI take over, that's a road to a human catastrophe.
Does it surprise you how well large language models work? Yes. I mean, has it modified your understanding of the nature of intelligence?
Yes. I mean, I've been writing about AI for, 8 years now, and engaged with all these predictions and speculations. And when it actually came, it was much faster and more powerful than I thought it would be. I didn't think that we would have in 2023 an AI that can hold a conversation, that you can't know if it's a human being or an AI, that can write beautiful texts. I read the texts written by AI, and the thing that strikes me most is the coherence. Mm-hmm. People think, oh, it's nothing. They just takes ideas from here and there, words from here, and put it. No, it's so coherent. You read in not sentences, you read paragraphs, you read entire texts, and there is logic. There is a structure.
It's not only coherent, it's convincing.
Yes,
and the beautiful thing about it that has to do with your work, it doesn't have to be true. And it often gets facts wrong, but it still is convincing. And it is both scary and beautiful.
Yes.
That our brains love language so much that we don't need the facts to be correct. We just need it to be a beautiful story.
Yeah.
And
that's been the secret of politics and religion for thousands of years. And now it's coming with AI.
So you, as a person who has written some of the most impactful words ever written in your books, how does that make you feel that you might be one of the last effective human writers?
That's a good question.
First of all, do you think that's possible?
I think it is possible. I've seen a lot of examples of AI being told, write like Yuval Noah Harari and what it produces.
Has it ever done better than you think you could have written yourself?
On the level of content, of ideas, no. There are things I say, I would never say that. But when it comes to there is, again, the coherence and the quality of writing is such that I say it's unbelievable how good it is. And who knows, in 10 years, in 20 years, maybe it can do better, even according to certain measures on the level of content.
So that people would be able to do like a style transfer, in the style of Yuval Noah Harari, write anything, right? Why I should have ice cream tonight. And make it convincing.
I don't know if I have anything convincing to say about these things.
I think you'd be surprised. There could be an evolutionary biology explanation for why.
Yeah, ice cream is good for you.
Yeah. So, that changes the nature of writing.
Ultimately, I think it goes back. Much of my writing is suspicious of itself. I write stories about the danger of stories. I write about intelligence, but highlighting the dangers of intelligence. Ultimately, I don't think that in terms of power, human power comes from intelligence and from stories. But I think that the deepest and best qualities of humans are not intelligence and not storytelling and not power. Again, with all our power, with all our cooperation, with all our intelligence, we are on the verge of destroying ourselves and destroying much of the ecosystem. Our best qualities are not there. Our best qualities are non-verbal. Again, they come from things like compassion, from introspection. And introspection, from my experience, is not verbal. If you try to understand yourself with words, you will never succeed. There is a place where you need the words. But the deepest insights, they don't come from words. And you can't write about it. That's again, it goes back to Wittgenstein, to Buddha, to so many of these sages before, that these are the things we are silent about.
Yeah, but eventually you have to project it. As a writer, you have to do the silent introspection, but project it onto a page.
Yes, but you still have to warn people, you will never find the deepest truth in a book. You will never find it in words. You can only find it in direct experience, which is non-verbal, which is pre-verbal.
In the silence of your own mind.
Yes.
Somewhere in there.